I love the book. I really enjoyed it. I read it super fast, like in the last couple of days. I think it kind of consumed my mind and my life, and I was absolutely into it. The story is very fresh in my mind, and I just really want to discuss it. I will say a few general things, and then we're gonna go to more specifics. After this book, I really think that Brandon's strong points are the plot and characters. I mean, the world building is also good, but I feel like even people who are not good writers can make a good world, but to find a good story inside of a unique world, I feel like this is more difficult. The characters are really complex and layered and relatable. And even those who seem like heroic and strong have moral dilemmas, have flaws, are put in difficult situations. They're always challenged. You always worry about them. It's not like, it's going to be easy for them. It's never easy for no one, even for like a strong warrior like Dalinar. So all of these elements I really enjoy. I enjoy the atmosphere, the storms, but there was just a little bit missing for me personally to be like top book for me. I mean, this book doesn't have everything I like in one. It has like 80% of everything I like in one story. And what I was missing a bit was characters' interactions. In sense, like the story is so big and there's so much happening that just there is not enough space in it to go deeper into character relationship. Maybe I would like to know more about the relationship between Dalinar and his son, or Adolin and Shallan. It doesn't have to be romantic, but just some kind of closer relationship. I love seeing close relationship being explored. Also, like people becoming friends. I see that Kaladin and Adolin have this very interesting dynamic, and they might get closer in the future. And I just feel like I want more of these, and this is something that is lacking a bit for me personally. Okay, this is my only thing I want more of. But I acknowledge that this story maybe would get convoluted, and if there was too much character drama or something like that. So yeah, maybe in some kind of a side story, we can explore more about characters' personal relationship with each other, whatever that is. But I really like characters in sense like the way we explore their past trauma or their moral dilemmas or their beliefs. All of this is great stuff. And I feel like the characters are really, really relatable because they're so human and so flawed, but also they're inspiring because some of them are so heroic or trying to do the right thing, and they're struggling to be better. Their determination to continue their fight and their struggle against all odds, that's super inspiring, and I really love that. So I will now gonna talk about each character with a few words. I think the Shallan storyline was much more interesting than the first book, because the first book they were in the library most of the time, and Shallan was still a bit shy and naive, and now she was more active and there was a lot happening with her. So first she was attacked, and then she managed to survive on her own, and she managed to convince people to follow her. She managed to get into the Ghostblood organization. She learned a lot about her powers. She started to use those deceptions and lies in her favor. She got close to Adolin. She became a Radiant. I mean, she had a very big arc. A lot happened with her. And then there was Kaladin, who again had a bit of a eternal battle, and he's still kind of a bit broken on the inside. He has still his hatred, his desire for revenge, and then he broke his word and he had to regain his honor, and he had to kind of level up to the point that he's going to protect not just the people he likes, but just protect everyone who needs protection. So that was kind of a step up for him. He faced Set, he defeated Set. I was kind of anticipating the moment that his power is gonna come back. It was very epic. I understand why Kaladin is one of people's favorite characters. I think he's one of my favorite characters as well. He's just so likable. He's really a man of honor, and maybe here I should mention that I enjoy the fact that the powers they have, or the, how to say, the friend that they connect with, it's perfect for their personality, right? Like, I truly believe that Kaladin is a person of honor who tried to keep his word, and that he's loyal and protective, and just this is his character. So it serves him well that he'll represent those ideals and that he will have that power. It kind of fits with him, right? And then Shallan fits so well with the idea of deception, of lies. She's somebody who is wearing a mask even when she's herself, right? Like, she hides her dark past, and I feel like she will have quite a journey ahead of her. And then Dalinar, he became a person who unites everyone else, also kind of suits him. And I like the fact that he started to use smart tactics, like the way he tricked Amaram. That was great. Great job, Dalinar. But he's still this brave person who is ready to step into the battle, into danger, to do what's right. So I really admire him, and I loved his storyline as well. I wish we could know more about Navani. She was a bit in the shadow this book. Maybe in future books we gonna get more time with her. I was missing Yasna. I like her. I liked her attitude, so I'm glad she's gonna come back. And who else? Adolin. So Adolin is the guy that I felt it's not so interesting compared to others because he didn't have so much trauma. Of course, he has his own issues and so on, but in this book, compared to the last book, in this book he won my sympathy more because I liked the fact that he accepted Kaladin. Also, seeing him from Shallan's point of view maybe helped me seeing him like a more sympathetic guy. And I feel like he had a good heart, and whatever he was doing was coming from a good place. I like the way he supported Kaladin, the fact that he went to prison because it was unfair that Kaladin went to prison, and so on and so on. So Adolin was gradually winning me over and becoming more and more endearing and sympathetic in my eyes. But then he killed Sadeas, right? And in the first moment I was like, this guy, he was too stupid to talk like this. But then I was like, but Adolin should be better than that. No, he's an honorable man. Just stabbing somebody in the corridor feels kind of wrong. For somebody like him, like, he should be the person who meets their enemy into battle. Like, he didn't want to kill the Pershendi even when it was so easy. I mean, he only went back to the battle when he was attacked. But then to do something like that, it just felt, I don't know, it stained his character. I understand why he did it, but it felt like, okay, so this is no longer needed. Let's stab him and get him out of the story. I wonder if this act of cold-blooded murder will stain Adolin's character, if he's gonna feel some guilt about it, because it's not something that fits his values and the way he usually acts. Nobody's perfect, right? So yeah, then there was Renarin, who is now also radiant. I hope that will help with his confidence. I don't think he is weak, but I feel like he was just trying too hard to be something that he is not. So I hope now he will become what he should be. What else? Seth. Okay, Seth, of course. You know, he's one of my favorite characters for whatever reason. I don't even know. I like the fact that he has now a new beginning. Poor guy couldn't even die in peace. He was like, oh my god, I finally am free of this. I'm finally gonna die in every... And the other guy comes and he's like, no, it's not the end for you, because there's one reader who's waiting for you. That's me. No, I'm joking. I'm so happy that we're gonna learn more about him, because yeah, I've spoken about him quite a lot. Imagine the character that has appeared so rarely, and I want to know all about him. Yeah, I think Zed and Kaladin are the characters I'm most interested in. I said a lot of things in my vlog, so I don't want to repeat myself. So if you want to go watch the vlog, I get into more details. And I was a bit hyped for Words of Radiance because of everybody saying that this is a very good book, and I try to keep that down because too much expectations can really set the bar too high. But I think it kind of hit the bar. I enjoyed it so much. There's maybe one thing that bugs me a little. Kaladin and Shallan fell into the chasm and had this amazing adventure there that I really loved everything that happened there. But then they never spoke again. I feel like they should have had some kind of interaction. Everything else in the story kind of had some progression towards something, and this felt like, I mean, if you remove this, not much changes. I mean, it's not like this. It's not like this. I mean, there were some consequences of all that happened, but I felt like I needed somehow this to be more connected to everything else. And I felt like after they have shared this moment, they should have another interaction. I don't mean that they need to have a love triangle, or just even if they become just friends. I wish they had more interaction. And I think this hits again what I said before, that I want more about the main characters' interactions. We get that. I don't mean that we don't get it. I just need more of it. So this is the only thing that I feel like could have been a little bit better. It's just a nitpick at this point. The book was so big and there's so much into it, put into it, that I understand that it had to be cut down to the very basic essentials. And even that was so long. There were a lot of threads left hanging, a lot of questions left unanswered. So we'll see. At the end of the day, they kind of failed in some regards. I mean, the Voidbringers are back. The storm is raging. The world is in danger. The Stormfather is very cheerful, saying, "Oh, you failed. You're gonna all die." Not very promising, but at the same time, I feel like if somebody can save the world, that's Dalinar. Like, this guy is made of rocks. Honestly, I love him. I really love him. I love all the characters with all their flaws and all their mistakes, and I feel like they're great characters. And I think because we have such a great characters, everything else works so well. In conclusion, I absolutely loved this book. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the plot, the grand finale with the super epic battle in the sky. So if you ask me about the next book, I have zero idea what's gonna happen. Is this Odium guy going to appear? And then the king, that Teddy Mary, the king, I call him King Teddy because I can't pronounce his name. So King Teddy, he's now king of Yakavet, so we'll see what he's going to do. It's funny how these characters really got under my skin. I already have a Pinterest board with 1 billion Kaladin's fan art inside. I'm actually happy that I enjoyed this story because I wasn't really sure if the Stormlight Archive will work for me. I mean, you never know, right? But I found enough in it to be super invested. I'm really looking forward to reading more. And if you happen to see this video, give me a hint of what might be interesting to talk about, because one of the things I struggle to decide is what might be interesting for other people to discuss. Please let me know. You can check the other videos. Bye! See you next time.